And I woke up to him, and immediately he said to me, I saw something last night, looked more like human, but inhuman. He said, this looks like he is bipedal. Apparently there are some other things, there are some really scary things in the woods. And my father said, this is a very big wolf. I think they are born like this, and they are always like this, they die like this.
Today I'm talking to Nicole, who's going to share some experiences that he's had with what we can only describe as a cryptid over a number of years. So, Nicole, welcome to Truth Proof.
Thank you.
Can you walk us into what happened and how these events occurred, please?
Yes, I had experiences with the Dogman, and from a very early age. With my first experience was when I was 4 years old, and basically I was in. We were in Austria with my parents and my older brother. I was 4. My brother was he's 2 years older, and we slept in different rooms. We had another one room and our parents another room. We were in a village surrounded by mountains and woods. And that evening, I was alone in my room, and I saw something in the window, but it was a silhouette of a profile. It was a face, but it had human features. It has a chin and a nose, but it looked evil and demonic. It was not human, and the feeling was evil and fear. I froze up and looked away because I didn't want to look at it, and I couldn't. Like the air got more dense, I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't call for help or run away. I was like frozen. And after a minute or two, I don't know how long, uh, the feeling disappeared, that pressure. And also I heard like a strange hissing sound, like, and but that was not the Dogman. It didn't have the snout or look like a canine. It looked more like human, but inhuman. It
And
didn't good at all.
what was
I,
the surroundings? Were you living in the countryside?
no, we went on a weekend in Austria on the snow to with the family. I was a small child,
4 years old.
4 years old. Yes, yes. And then when that thing disappeared, I called for help, and my parents came and my brother, and my brother believed me that I saw something, but my parents probably not. But that night they left the door open from the hallway, so some light could get in because I was afraid. And that night, tapping on the window woke me up, like a sharp sound, like a nail, tuck tuck tuck. And in my childish mind, I was thinking that it was probably my dad playing a prank on us, wanted to scare us. And so I got up and went to see, because I couldn't see the window from my bed. It was around the corner. And I went to see, and there it was. At first, I saw only the silhouette and the pointy. I thought at the moment that there were horns, but I saw them move. So there were ears.
Yes.
And probably they moved because I spoke to it, and it leaned in, and then I could see the snout, the dog nose. I could see the teeth, sharp teeth, and I had a feeling that it was showing the teeth, but not in a aggressive or menacing way. Like some people say, it smiled at them. I have the feeling that it did that to me also. And I was 4 years old. I don't know what I was thinking, and I said to it, "You are not my dad." And I said, "I can't come out because it's too cold and I'm small. I will get sick." I don't know. Maybe it spoke to me in my mind, but I can't remember because maybe it wanted me to come outside. And I said that I can't. And in the end, I asked it please to stop tapping on the window, and I went back to my bed, and it stopped. And the next morning, I told my father, my parents, and my brother, and we went outside. We found a big dog print in the snow, but also we found a little bit more on the side, like a smaller print, like a donkey, like from the, yeah, it was probably that entity from the first entity. And my brother fabricated a story that it was probably a big dog that wanted to go in because it was cold. And so we left it at that. But
So,
I
then,
remember,
so
yes,
that
please.
your brother said that to make you feel accused.
Yes, probably, yeah.
Just to reiterate, you saw the first one whilst on the family holiday. The second one with the snout on the same holiday.
The same night.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there more to add to that?
I have a feeling that this dogman was there to protect me from the first entity, because with the first entity, I was completely froze. I was terrified. With the dogman, I felt shock. I was in shock, like I never experienced this before, but there was no real fear. I was, like I said, I even talked to it and asked it, but please, I said, please stop knocking on the window. I have to sleep. And it stopped.
How big do you think this was? The second one.
I can't be sure, but it was, I remember broad shoulders, but maybe he was, as he leaned in, maybe, I can't be sure. The print was big, but I was little, I was small. I can't have that feeling of size.
I realised this, Nicole. As I asked the question, I realised I'm asking you to go back to a 4-year-old, and you wouldn't know, would you?
Not really. Maybe it was smaller, maybe it was bigger, maybe it was a juvenile. And I have to say something about my experiences. I forgot all about them for a long, long time, and I started remembering them just a year ago. But as I said before, I was abused in my childhood, and I think I developed a defense mechanism that made me forget very quickly what doesn't serve me good.
Yeah.
And over time, I developed a drinking problem very early, and now I'm sober. I was full-time alcoholic for 18 years.
Really?
I'm sober for 3.5 years now, and since I stopped drinking, I did some breathing exercises, and after that, I experienced memory comeback. Suppressed memories come back all the time, almost on a daily basis. More or less traumatic events.
How old are you now, Nicole?
I'm 40.
After the night, telling your parent and your brother, was there no memory, or did it slowly dissipate, or did you just forgot about it until probably 38 to 40 years old?
I think I didn't forget immediately because I remember my brother tried to draw drawing what I saw. I was describing it and he drew, and he said this looks like a werewolf, and but we were back home then. He was probably not afraid anymore so much, but back in the mountains, he said, no, this was a big dog. And yeah, and I don't know, but probably in time I forgot all about it. And the memories don't come back all at once. I remember this event, but not everything. And then I let it go. And then after some time, it comes back again, but with more details. And it's like, I would describe it like it bubbles out from inside. I don't like you when you're writing a story, when you're fabricating something, you are putting in an effort. You can feel that you are constructing something. But this like when you when you boil water, like I feel like that. It just comes out from some.
Have you remembered some things, Nicole, and then forgot them again and been frustrated, and then they've come back at a point in time later?
I had my second experience with the Dogman when I was 14. It happened the next morning. I didn't remember anything. I was a little drunk. I was a teen, but the next morning I remembered the first time of the evening, but the when I was face to face with the Dogman, no, just a year ago it came back to me. I shut it down completely.
Would you like to walk us into the one that, when you were a 14-year-old, then, please?
But before that, there are two other experiences.
Let's do it.
I would like to go chronologically.
Please do.
Yeah, the second experience was my father and me went on a hike in Croatia, in the mountains. We went to visit the source of a river, and it's in a national park. It's a part of a national park. It's a very beautiful place. It's a big pool. It's a big hole. I don't know, 80 or 100 meters deep, and the river, the water goes out, and it's very beautiful in the middle of the woods and the mountains. And the hike is not very hard, but I was the guide, and we got lost, of course. I missed the marking, and we missed the path, and we ended up on
How old were you?
12. 12, yes. And we missed the path and ended up on a gravel dirt road in the middle of the woods. And we followed the road for some time, and we saw the river was downhill on our left. So obviously we missed the source. And after some time, we found something strange. We found a dead mole, the little animal that digs in the ground, in the middle of the road, but it was in pristine condition, like somebody carefully put it down there. No visible, no blood, no injuries, nothing. Just standing there like a photo shot in an encyclopedia. And it was for us a little weird because in the middle of the woods, this wouldn't last very long. Something would snatch it, would eat it. So it was strange, and we carried on for a little more, and then we found a big dog print or wolf print in the mud in the middle of the road. Also, now thinking back, like the entity wanted us to see it, and my father said this is a very big wolf or dog, and it looks like it's only one print, so no other. And he said this looks like he is bipedal. I didn't think much about it. I don't. I have to tell something. I was at that age. I was reading books about Northern American Indians. I was feeling very in tune and with nature and my surroundings, and I didn't feel fear on that hike at all. But when we found the print, we decided to go back. But then I said to my father, no, who knows where this road goes? The river is here. Let's go downhill through the woods and then follow the river to the source. We will find it eventually. We didn't walk for so long. It's here somewhere. He said yes. Okay, let's go. And we went down, and we stopped a few times for rest. And he said something is following us. I can hear it. It's walking. Do you hear it? He asked me. I didn't hear anything, just the sound of the river. And I tried to look around, but I saw nothing. And we continued. And the last time we stopped for 2 or 3 times. There was a piece of trash in the middle of the woods. I think it was a plastic bottle or something. And when we carried on, I took the trash with me, and later put it in a trash can. And after that, my father said the following stopped. It's not more following us. And then after some time, we found the source of the river and we found our way back.
Yeah, thank you.
But one more thing about these experiences. A day or two before that, my father found a local woodsman to cut some pieces of wood for him for decoration at home for our garden. And we said to him that we plan to go to the source of the river. And he smiled and said there are stories there of werewolves. People said that there are stories of werewolves, that they see werewolves. But then he smiled and said, but I think they probably drink too much and then saw a bear or something and think it's a werewolf. And I said, well, I believe there are strange things on this earth. But they said, my father and him, no, they don't exist. But I and it was left on that. I believe they don't, and this is it. So my point is that locals always know something. They always know more.
Where was this? What was the name of the place, Nikola?
It's the National Park Risnjak.
Risnjak.
Risnjak, yes. Ris
Thank
is we call the lynx Ris.
Okay. Oh, and one more thing, because I know you've used the word dogman. Do you think that the werewolf and the dogman are one and the same?
I really don't know. I believe that the wolf people. I don't really like the term dogman,
No,
but
I don't.
yeah, I think they are born like this, and they are always like this. They die like this, and the werewolf. I don't know. It may be possible with some black magic or something. There are legends and stories. I don't want to. I don't want to say, this is not possible. Who am I to say? I mean,
Yeah.
I saw things and experienced what should not be possible. So who knows? But I feel a deep respect for the wolf people. I think they are majestic and they should be respect and left alone. And I see them as some kind of guardians, protectors. But that doesn't mean that probably there are some aggressive ones that it's better that you don't cross paths with them, like people.
Yeah.
I think that on a spiritual level, they are not animals. It's my opinion. I think they have a reincarnating ego, like us. They go from lifetime to lifetime. That doesn't mean that animals don't have souls. They do, but they are different. They are not like ours.
Do you know, a lot of wisdom and sense in what you're saying there, Nicola. You know, a lot of people will find what you've just shared with us really interesting, a great take on it. And I know you're going to tell us the next experience, but let's stay with this bit for a moment. You believe that the wolf people, it's a proper race of beings, entities.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. I think they are, and also the Bigfoot. and apparently there are some other things. There are some really scary things in the woods, like the pale crawlers and stuff like that. I don't wish to see something like that. The wolf people scare me, but they scare me the least. All other things, even the Bigfoot, the aliens especially, I don't like that. They terrify me.
Yeah.
And yeah, who knows what else exists?
So one more thing then. I noted that you said you were the guide. You were 12 years old. Were that tongue in cheek, or did you actually know the way, or you were just being the guide for Dad?
First time there, but the path is marked, but I missed a marking and saw another marking, but it was for another way, not to the source. And but I have a little theory about that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe not. Maybe this entity, which I believe it was a wolfman, somehow guided us to the place where there was the trash, and gave me the message to pick it up and take it away.
If your time allowed, you walk us into the next experience, then, please, Nicola.
Mhm. The next experience was in Andorra, 2 years later, a day before my 14th birthday. And me and my father went on a road trip. We went through Italy and on the coast of France, and we ended up in Andorra. And all the time we slept in the car. It was a real adventure. But I was a teenager. I was stupid and all that, and I really didn't want to be there. I wanted to be at home with my friends, having fun, getting drunk, all that. And I was full of negativity. And maybe this attracted the wolfman. And that evening in Andorra, my father stopped on the side of the road. There was a little place for cars to stop, and we went to sleep. It was already dark, and Andorra is in the mountains, small country, and we were surrounded by hills, a little bit of woods, and basically in the middle of nowhere. And we went to sleep. That night, a shaking of the car woke us up, but it was not the wolfman, and it was the on my side of the car. And I woke up, and in the first second, I couldn't see good what it was, and then I realized it's a horse. There were obviously some wild horses there, and it was shaking our car with its body, which is I worked with horses for some years, and it's strange behavior for a horse. When a horse senses danger, he runs away. So probably I think this horse wanted to wake us up. He wanted to or warn us, or he wanted help or protection, or both. So he woke us up, and my father tried to start the car, but immediately he started the car, and immediately the car died. And he tried again and again and again, and nothing. So I said to my father, "Okay, let's go back to sleep. We will deal with this tomorrow." And I went back to sleep, but I think he didn't sleep uh, much more that night. So, excuse me. I fell back to sleep, and I woke up, and I saw that my father was outside looking at something, and I was, maybe he was going to the bathroom or something. So I turned around to sleep again, and he rushed inside. He entered the car, and he was visibly shaken up. But I didn't ask anything, and he didn't say anything. But the next morning, so I fell asleep again. And the next morning, he was outside again, looking in the distance. And I woke up to him, and immediately he said to me, I saw something last night on the hill across us, and it was big, like an animal with horns, but probably it was pointy ears. And so I asked him, what are a deer, bull, goat? No, he said. So I asked, okay, did you see any time in a movie or somewhere something that reminds you what this looked like? And he said, yes, like a werewolf. Okay, I said, we have to get out of here. But the car doesn't work. And I asked him, was it walking on two legs or four legs? He said four. And maybe the creature didn't want to scare him so much. I don't know. This is just my thoughts. And then a miracle happened. A man was jogging on the side of the road, and we stopped him and asked him, please, for help. And sure enough, he knew how to start our car on the downhill in second gear, and he started our car. And we thanked him. He said there was a service station some kilometers ahead, and we need to change a battery. And we did it. But before we went on a road, he said it's not good to be here in the nighttime. And we said, we know. We know. And he said, don't come back here. And we didn't. We found another way to go away. And my father was really scared. He drove almost all day and almost all night back to Monaco. So we were on my birthday. We were in Monaco.
It's a frightening experience for your dad, more so than you, Nicole.
Yeah, I didn't feel the fear, but I think he felt it very much. And I think my theory is that it was a message for him, some kind of message, because he was my abuser. I grew up in a narcissistic family, but I think now that it's all part of my karma. But we will come to that later. And he was a bully. He was a bully. Yeah, he tormented me all my childhood, and maybe this was some kind of message for him to keep him in line somehow. I don't know.
I don't pretend to know what you went through, but I'll use when I wait the book again as an example. The Night People. My father was a very hard man to live with, and he would use that first before asking the question. So, and I have written about it. I've not called him excessively, but you get the idea. You know, I can understand a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. My father was like that too. First the slap, then questions. Yes, but even worse than that, it was the psychological abuse, because it started from a very early childhood. He humiliation, making fun of, and stuff, provocations, and this is this would make a grown up to feel bad. And when you do this to a small child, a preschool child, the damage that you do, it's irreversible.
Yeah,
because it's
trauma.
It's trauma. Yes. My second sighting, fourth experience, but second sighting, was in my county of Istra, at the foothills of a mountain. The mountain is called Uchka. And we went, me and my friends. This was 2 or 3 months after the experience in Andorra. And me and my friends went on a hike, an organized hike, for 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days. So we slept in villages. And the second night, we all got drunk. And I threw up in the place where we were supposed to sleep. So my friends got angry with me and sent me to sleep in an old barn on the other side of the village. And so I went to the barn, but being drunk and it was dark around. there was some light. It was a village, but it was dark, and I missed the barn and went further in the dark, and then suddenly I stumble on it. It was in front of me, and it was his head, his eyes, his face was at my eye level, but it looked like it is crouching or sitting, and basically it was a giant wolf. So, and the first I spoke to it, I was drunk and full of myself. I was a teenager and I was feeling sick and just wanted to lay down. And in the first second, my mind didn't realize what's happening. And when I first saw it, I told, "You're the last thing I needed." And the second after, I realized the situation, and I bowed my head and said, "Please don't kill me." And I looked at my feet for some time. I don't know for how long, and I just stood there. I wanted to look back up again to see if it's still there, but I couldn't. My body wouldn't listen. I couldn't look, so I kept looking at my feet and waiting for this entity to do something, but it never did something. It never did anything. It didn't make a sound. It was, again, I didn't feel aggression. I didn't feel no evil intent, but I was frozen. I couldn't move. Yeah, after some time, I don't know for how long I stood there, and somebody was looking for me. And this person, it was a guy. I don't know him, and he found me there standing in the dark, but he didn't want to come near because he said to me, "What are you doing there? There's something there with you. You have to come to me." And then I snap out of it, and I didn't look anymore in the direction of the big wolf. I just went in the direction of the voice of this person, and he took me to the barn, and I fell asleep. The next morning, I didn't remember nothing about the experience. Just a year ago, I started remembering.
Probably said, but how old were you during this experience?
14.
14. There's quite a few things happened. 4 years of age, you got the experience, and then few at the age of 14. We know that you didn't look at it after you put your head down, but what you did see, how big?
I don't know. He looked like it's or sitting or crouching, and at my eye level. So if he would stood up, he would probably be 2.5 meters. I don't know.
Did you see eyes?
Yes.
Color?
The color was yellow, but more darker yellow. The first one was more brighter yellow, and the second one was more darker yellow towards orange.
Feel a fear, like an aggression coming from this thing, an intent.
No, not at all. Not at all. I just froze up because it's a scary situation, and I acted submissive and asked it please not to kill me. And I remember that when I saw it, immediately the experience from Andorra came back in my head. I remembered it. So, and I connected it. And even when the experience in Andorra, when we were going away, I remembered my father. Do you remember when we were followed in the woods by something? Maybe it was also a wolfman, but he was so afraid he didn't want to talk about it at all. And yes, I have a theory about this too. And I think this wolfman also helped me just to stop me to go any further in the dark, to get in real trouble and hurt or something. He just stop me there in my tracks.
But
That's why I think.
why you, Nicole, being somehow helped and guided by the race of wolf people, as you called them? What?
I have my opinion because I I I was always a spiritual person from an early age. I was thinking differently, and from I said that I experience memory comebacks from childhood and everything. And I remember when I was a small child talking to my father, and I said I was grown up too once, and he asked me. This was before school. Uh, and he asked me, "So what were you doing when you were grown up?" And I answered, "I was killing evil people." But I said evil people, not just people. I said I was 3 or 4, I don't know. And I said I killed evil people. So I don't know. Maybe I was protecting somebody in my past life or in a past life. And maybe I caught the attention of the wolf people because of my actions, because of my vibration, because I see them as protectors too. They're often seen around graveyards, and the story goes that they protect the souls from evil spirits. And also, I heard stories that last night I was listening to a Dogman encounter episode in the UK. I think the place is called Winter Hill, the old shack, I think,
The black
and some black shack, yeah, and some women reported that they got lost, and that the big dog came and they followed it, and it showed them the way to get back on the path because they were lost. So I do believe that they are not like evil killing machines, and because I wouldn't be alive if that would stop. I mean, back in Andorra, nobody would knew, or in the forest when we were followed, he could snatch us, and nobody would realize what happened. So I believe that maybe I may be wrong, maybe because of my karma and my soul and my past life, maybe I caught the attention of this race of wolf people. And because I was having a hard, but also because of my karma, I was born in such environment to get my energies back in balance. That's the abuse and a very unbalanced environment, so I can work with these energies and get them back in line. And I'm making progress, I can say, and I believe that they I don't know. They wanted to help me. That's my opinion. I may be wrong, but I think they are here for helping us.
said that someone found you. I just want to go back to that. Who found you and
I
took
don't
you
know.
back to the bar?
Yeah, it was not one of my friends because this was an organized hike. There were, I don't know, 50, 60 people around there. So they sent somebody to look for me because I didn't come to the barn and there were other people sleeping there. So probably somebody told them he he's not there. Excuse me. So
Okay.
they sent somebody to look for me because I mean they were all angry with me because I did a mess, but they also worried. I was 14. There were all older people there also, and they probably got worried and sent somebody to look for me. But this person saw something in the dark and didn't want to come near, so the wolf man was still there with me, and probably keeping me there because I don't know, going going further in the dark, I would probably get hurt or in trouble.
What does it imply then, Nicola, that these race of wolf beings interact with you Does it mean that they're there all the time on some other parallel existence? Or is it just chance that you're in these locations and these creatures are there?
I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know. Maybe it's true this about parallel dimensions. I like reading books, spiritual books, and I believe that there are higher dimension, the astral dimension, in which we go when we sleep or we die, and even higher dimensions. And I believe that the more advanced individuals in that race are able to, I don't know if they use portals or what, how they do it, but I think they can function in more than one dimension. And I believe we can do that too, but we forgot. We fell in our vibration. But it somebody want this to happen to us. But I think the times are changing.
No. So where do we go then now, Nicole, with the counters?
To be honest, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I have an obsession with the wolf people, but even before I found out about them, I had a deep. I felt a deep connection towards, especially canines. I love all animals, but especially canines, dogs, foxes, uh, wolves. I'm sorry, the phone is. Do you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I always felt a deep spiritual connection with the canine form. So it's probably my subconscious uh, coming to surface because of these experiences. And I believe my story is not over yet. I feel somehow that I will see them again. But now I live in an area there are no real woods around me and no running water, and so I probably believe they are not close here, but you never know. There are stories they are seen in middle of the city, and
Well,
so,
well, do you know, I would I would go along with that as well because your experiences, although they've been in remote areas when you experience them, these things almost materialized when you needed them the most. So who's to say that these things couldn't happen in a built up area?
yeah, exactly, yes. But I don't see my area like a ground for them to live and feed and spend their time. So maybe, like you said, maybe they can just appear when they want, or they are needed. But I have experiences with something at night coming and visiting me. Back when I was still drinking and at the lowest point in my life, there were some negative experiences, but they don't happen anymore. And after I experienced more positive visits, and they always happened when I'm in that state, not fully asleep, but not awake anymore, in the state in between.
Yeah.
And then I can feel somebody pulling my leg or poking me with the finger on. Sometimes I feel burning on one part of the body. And one time I remember I felt a gentle stroke on my back, and when I turned around, my dog was in the room with me, but it was not my dog because I would hear her move. And the dog was looking at something in the air. It was following something with its vision.
So thank you, Nicola, for sharing that with me. And could we talk at a future date in a few weeks' time, maybe a week's time?
Of course, we will be in touch.
Thank you very much. You take care. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.